2021 and Nigeria is facing unrest. Unrest that threatens the peace and unity of the country. Different individuals and groups have stepped up in different capacities to protect their own. Miyetti Allah for the Fulanis, Sunday Igboho for the Yorubas, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through IPOB agitating for Biafra for the Igbos.
You are watching Ije the Journey with Nnenna Joseph.
As Igbos will say, Ozemena, there have been calls of war and secession. The war took a lot from us that might never be recovered. This is 1967 and the war has started. With men at the battlefield, women took up responsibility for the country Biafra. The soldiers got thicker, braver and would not cower, even with little or no ammunition. These were people fighting for a cause with rage and defending their own. It was a battle of survival. 1967 and Biafra capital Enugu fell to the Nigerian troops. Days ran into weeks, weeks ran into months. It was a fight to finish. The Biafra soldiers made brave moves, seemingly brave moves that would lead to their death in droves. Operations after operations were launched by the better equipped, better funded and better trained Nigerian army. But the Biafran soldiers pressed on regardless. One of the uncalculated moves made by the Biafran troops was the attack on Major Isam Alabi. He was the commander of the 4th Division of the Nigerian Army posted to Asaba at the time. They got an intel that his meeting was rescheduled and his men were taken away from him briefly. Without strategy, tactics or anything, a troop of about 10 men attacked him at his house at exactly 10 p.m. An operation that was supposed to be a piece of cake turned to a bloodbath because Isam Alabi outnumbered them and outsmashed them with weapons, sophisticated firearms that they did not have. As the war towered on, the Biafran command made no non-tactical moves that would lead to the death of their men in droves. But of course, what do you expect from largely untrained men who just took up arms for the love of their country? All they had was their zeal and their glistening uniforms that even turned to tattered rags as the war progressed. It was just their hearts that led them on. Shortly after launching the police action, the Nigerian government committed a humanitarian disaster, the first response that felt appropriate to them. An economic blockade. They launched a blockade leading up to the oil sector. This caused widespread hunger and starvation in all Igbo areas. They blocked all flows of ammunition and food by land, air and sea. Nothing was coming in, nothing could go out. Especially proteinous foods like fish, which was gotten from Norway or from the local rivers. The local fishermen were denied access to the local rivers and Norwegian fish cut off. This became the single most destructive political move in West Africa. A death toll of 2 million civilians who died from malnourishment. They were children mostly who died from kwashiorkor. A federal military government representative said that starvation is a legitimate weapon of war and they had every intention of using it. In Nigeria today, we loosely say the North feeds the country. If the 2 million civilians who died from malnourishment, who were mostly farmers, hadn't died, who knows maybe, the North will not be the only ones feeding the country. Pro-Nigerians will argue that it was war, and in war everything is fair, right? But don't forget that there are rules of engagement, and non-militia men, women and children were not to be targeted. Air raids became the order of the day. Bombs known as shelling were thrown from the air into civilian homes, killing people, killing children, and they had to leave their homes. As a result of the air raids and the blockades, food production became nearly impossible. 1 minute you're farming, The next minute, shell drops from the sky, destroying your crops. You're just too lucky to be alive to live there. The civilian population withdrew further away from their homes into the bushes and IDP camps. Everyone got their fair share of the air raids and economic blockade. A lot died due to exhaustion, untreated diseases, hunger and starvation. Foreign countries battled themselves on the chessboard of the Nigerian Biafra war, with France and Britain being the key players. The United States declared neutrality, but strategically aligned with the Nigerian government. The Soviet Union also aligned with the Nigerian government. The Chinese government aligned with the Biafran government to spite the Soviet Union. Israel was torn between both sides, while Egypt sent their fighter and their bombardiers in favor of the Nigerian government to fight civilian Biafrans. There were several peace talks. African leaders called on General Gowon to end the war. But General Gowon wasn't going to budge, and neither was General Ojukwu. Images of malnourished Biafran children became a star project for the international media. Did this have a positive effect? For Biafra, there was always a way. The media attention this brought attracted international bodies like NGOs, the Catholic and Protestant churches, and the Red Cross. Now the challenge became how to land the aircraft carrying these relief materials into Biafra. This gave rise to the Amoka Airstrip. Contrary to what we know as Uli Airstrip, it is located in Amoka, Iyala local government of Anambra State, and not Uli. It had a long runway and 4 hangars, 3 of which are in Amoka and just 1 in Uli. It also had landing points which were all located in Amoka. So it is the Amoka Airstrip and not the Uli Airstrip. We're standing here at the Ojukwu bunker. This used to be General Ojukwu's hideout whenever he came to inspect activities and see the Air Force at the airstrip. The airstrip was once the single most important link between Biafra and the outside world. Till date, it remains the largest non-combatant airlift of any kind ever carried out. Foreign pilots who could navigate the airstrip in the night using torchlights were deployed. They were mostly foreign pilots, international organizations who were not supposed to be targeted. Did this work? Were they not targeted? General Gowon and his government will go ahead to defy all rules of engagement known in war.
Despite the need to conserve every round, the Biafran troops fire blindly at enemy positions they can scarcely see.
The Biafran troop charged towards Warri and Sapele. The intent was to take over the Midwest, but they did not have the strategy nor the tactics to that effect. What happened to Benue? The Benue River would have provided a good line of defense for the Biafran soldiers. As Igbos, the Biafra war is a very sympathetic cause, but we have to be careful. As much as we want our freedom, we need to ask very tactical questions. Is this the right thing to do? Is this time for it? Are there other things that could be done? Is there another route we should be taking? Let us not just jump on causes because we feel sympathetic to them. Ultimately, we should avoid war. As Chikamigo will often say, I Bundiwo, we are resilient. Look at us now. We have rebuilt our cities. We own the first automobile manufacturing company in Africa, Innocent Vehicle Manufacturing Company. We command and control the commerce sector of the country. Aria, Onitsha Main Market, Alaba International Market. We also command the transportation sector of the country. The Igbo apprenticeship system is studied in universities all over the world. Communities that were razed down have been rebuilt collectively and individually. Look at the beautiful city of Owerri, Ndi Oringo. Who will ever believe it fell to the Nigerian troops? We have come this far because we have a motto. Onyagala Nwanne. Do not forget this. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us what you think in the comment section, and also share this video. This is Ije the Journey with Nnenna Joseph on Ije.tv. Ije the Journey.
On the next episode of Ije the Journey, Nnenna Joseph and the Ije crew take a trip to Umuahia to visit the famous Ojukwu bunker and the National War Museum. Did you know that the Opunigwe used during the war is still in existence? Join us as we explore the technological ingenuity of the Biafrans.